Okay, most of you heard about the Texas shooter, Patrick, and we got another shooter too. And people are probably wondering what's going on. Now, I decided to track some of this and look around, and it's really sad how many people have had to die with this. This is all race generated. This is complete hate. Okay? And anybody can see that. And this person, I would hate to say being programmed, but in a way they are. And maybe these are the people that are, hanging out in their mother's basement and don't have a life, basically. There are two websites, and there's probably more out there. One's called 4chan, and another one's called 8chan. Now, these websites just allow you to post anonymously. So you can basically write a letter, upload a video, a GIF, or do whatever you want, basically. And this is where they're hanging out, and and probably the feds know about this. They're hanging out in many places. Now, the one shooter from Texas had a manifesto. I went and read that. Wow, what a real nutbar, I'll tell you. But to be so young and so stupid, it looks like he was being, I don't know, it looks like he was being programmed. Like, I think there's more to him, and even the other one that's come up. I think this is part of a group that one guy decided to go, the other guy says, you go, I'll go. I think we're going to see more shootings. I hope I'm wrong. But all this research I was doing, and most of these pages is just information about the first shooting that I was printing off. So I thought I would talk about how is this happening and where are they getting this information and how is it poisoning them. And if you have kids, you really want to see what your kids are doing on the internet and where they're going and what they're doing. Because, when people get involved into a group of people, they tend to believe they're right. I mean, if you go back and you look at the days they used to burn witches, if a big enough crowd got together, even though they were wrong, they believed they were right. And this is a big part of what is going on. So let me tell you a little bit about 8chan. It was a website that was created in October 2013 by a computer programmer named Frederick Brennan, better known for his alias as Hot Wheels. Now, Brennan created his website after he observed what he perceived to be a rapidly escalating surveillance and loss of free speech on the internet. Brennan, who considers the image board 4chan to have grown into an authorityism. So basically, he was on 4chan and he believed there was getting to be too many rules there, so he created his own. And basically, he says it's free speech friendly. It's more than free speech friendly. It's free speech on steroids. There are people uploading videos against black people and putting things down on the ground and shooting them with shotguns. And it's pure racist. And that's all there is to it. That is not free speech. If they're referring to as free speech as somebody that has hate on the level of 110%, then there's something wrong with that individual. Now, what I did find interesting about this website was, as of June 2019, 8chan is the 3,832nd most visited site in the world. As of November 2014, it received an average of 35,000 unique visitors per day, and you guys are probably going to go check it out too. But basically, there's a lot of people going there. A lot of people. And I was on there for a couple hours just scrolling through, looking at the posts, and I was just like, I was amazed at the hate that was on it. And I'm sure the FBI is looking at that website with a looking glass. And then somebody will say, well, why don't they just shut it down? If it's so racist. But now the guy that runs it, he did claim that the content that users post can be reprehensible, really. Now, these particular websites are just strictly hate websites. That's it. In January 2015, the site changed its domain from 8chan.co to 8ch.net after multiple people filed reports complaining that the message board has been hosting child pornography. Despite regaining the domain, the site remained at hch.net with the old domain as a redirect. Interesting, isn't it? A site that was being constantly reported for child porn. Now, this parent site apparently has moved to the Philippines, too. It used to be in the U.S., but not no more. This guy actually moved to the Philippines because of the laws. Because if he would have remained in the States, he probably would have been charged and put in jail. So he's moved to the Philippines because he follows underneath their laws and rules now. So in a way, he's kind of hiding to run this little website like a rebellion. I thought that was, I did find that interesting. Now, again, my opinion, but these shooters, I think, are hanging out on these 4chan and 8chan websites. I think they're being radicalized by other people that are racist, and they're being driven, and they feel like they're doing something of a great honor. When I read the manifesto by the first shooter, he was, he literally knew he was going to die. He said, if the cops don't, he wanted to die. If the cops don't kill me, then I would come out and try to get killed. I mean, he said maybe he would get killed by somebody else in the mall. But he wanted to die because he didn't want to face his parents. So in a small part of a way, he knew what he was doing was wrong, but he felt like he was doing something for his brethren. And I've seen a lot of posts on that. My brother, they all talk like that anonymously. So there is a group there. They also call themselves crusaders, as if they're doing us all a favor by these shootings. The more I read, the more I went down that rabbit hole. I just kept going, these are some sick people. And I'm going to tell you right now, this ain't going to end, because from what I could read and what I was finding on these websites, it looks like there's more coming down the pipe. So if you do carry, start carrying. Don't leave it at home. There's a lot of hate there. And I don't know where it's coming from. You know, when you see somebody that's 20 years old having not much hate toward another race, I'm just like, that's crazy. You know, I used to say, when we were bombing Iraq, and all of a sudden somebody would say strap bombs to themselves and they would run into an American base and blow themselves up. You know, I used to ask myself, why would somebody do that? I mean, would you want to do that? And I was like, but wait a sec. What if my house was bombed and I lost my wife, I lost my kids, and I had nothing else to live for? Then that kind of made sense then. But what these people are doing doesn't make sense. I mean, they're literally sitting at a computer, typing away, making memes, making fun of whatever race they don't like, and it's basically growing in their mind. It's programming them. And they only hang out with those particular individuals that think the same as them. As far as they're concerned, anybody that is not racist is the evil ones. And they watch the internet like a hawk. My video will probably get posted over there. I mean, anything that shows up, like when they're talked about on the news or anything, their videos end up over there quite quickly, and they start informing each other. So they're literally using these boards as a form of communication because they're completely anonymous. There's no way to find out. It's sickening. So if you hear anything, if your kids are on 8chan, 4chan, 2chan, I don't care, you hear chan in anything, ask them the question. And if their face drops or their eyes move a certain way, you better go get that computer and look at it. This is crazy that these young kids are being programmed over something so stupid and believing something. They think their lives are over. They literally believe all our jobs are going to be taken away by robots, and the Mexicans are going to take over the country and all these other people are going to take over the country. And I'm like, are you people crazy? If you know something's happening, you can prevent it. If you know robots are coming in to take over a good amount of the jobs, well, look into educating yourself and not doing the jobs that the robots do. You'll make a heck of a lot of money. Progress has always began, and it will never end. It will continue to grow. People can live in a world of racism, but if you do, they're just going to keep shutting it down. I mean, it's always going to be there, just like our homeless people on the street. But it's not a good life to live. Anyhow, this is really sad, and I can't believe this is being, in my opinion, this is being made and they're being born from this 8chan website and other websites like this that are completely racist, and they're believing what they're doing is right. I just don't understand how people could be so stupid, especially in this day and age. Catch you guys later.